So good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about APIs. Okay. So actually API means we are currently using REST APIs. Okay. So we'll discuss about what is REST and what is API and everything related to APIs. So API is application programming interface, and already told you in previous session, right? APIs are used to communicate between two different applications. Okay, so we can say that it's a piece of softwares to talk to each other. To talk to each other means to talk between different applications. Okay, so if you want to, as in previous session we discussed about one application to integrate Zomato and Swiggy, right? Integration of orders from Zomato and Swiggy, right? So if you want to create an application, through that application we can able to order food using Swiggy API and Zomato API. Then Swiggy and Zomato need to uh, publish or need to expose these ordering APIs uh, as to public, right? Then only we can or other person can use these APIs and integrate the functionality of ordering, right, in his own or her or in his or her app, right? So APIs is just a piece of code. Again, it is used to interact with other softwares, other third-party softwares. Okay. As I said about no, if you want to use Google Maps in your application, right? You have to buy Google Maps API. So Google Maps APIs will provide the details of the latitude, longitude, no, the location. It will capture location. So what all things, right? We need to pass. We have to pass through this Google Map API. Then Google Map API will provide the output as needed result. Okay, and we are getting this output and we are showing this output in your application. So that's happening, right? So as all of you know that many applications, lot of applications are using Google Map APIs for this map service. Okay, so you can easily Google, if you want to integrate Google Map with your application also, you have to sign up with a Google Map API. And also I also said that Google Map API is not free. It is free for uh, number of calls, right? So how many API calls can be done? Okay, so there is a limit is there, daily limit is there. After that limit exceeds, they will charge payment for your use. Again, the payment is not fixed; it is according to your use. If your application using, more API calls, right? Then accordingly, like a pay as you go, right? According to your usage only, they will charge. Okay. So this is a kind of application for us Yelp. Okay. So Yelp again calling the Google Map API, right, in order to get the information about user current location, or if you want user want to go some places, right, or if you want to user find the restaurant near his or her place, right? Then with the help of Yelp, we can easily find. So Yelp is another kind of software which uses all functionalities like Google Maps. So Yelp ask questions to the Google Map through Google Map API. Google Map API will returns the details to the Yelp, and Yelp show these details to the users. So yeah, okay. So Yelp is an application that shows the list of restaurants close to them, or some kind of application. You can just keep, it's an application that shows any kind of information that related to maps. Okay. So if that application needs to show any kind of info, that is with the help of Google Map API, we will get the current location of customer. We will get the current location. We will get from GPS also. Okay, but we can get from the Google Map also. And if you want to know the nearest restaurants, nearest petrol pumps, right? These all things can be get. No, we can get through the Google Maps directly, right? So this option can be used by other application also. Okay, for that they are using Google Map APIs. Okay. So I hope all of you got the idea of API, right? Any questions about that? Hello?
Clear, sir.
So just quickly reply if you have any question, just ask. If there is no questions, you are clear. Just say no, it's clear. Okay, fine. So what is REST API? Currently, we are using RESTful API or REST API. So REST means representation state transfer. Okay. So REST API actually it defines a set of functions. Okay, which developer can perform requests and receive responses via HTTP protocol. So with the help of HTTP protocol, we can send some requests to the API, and this server end or the application that provides API, right, receives this request, and that application process the request and create some response, create some output, right. This output is sent back to the calling application, right. It's sent back to the calling application as a response. Okay, so the communication is like that. The application that needed some research, right, it will ask a request, it will send a request to the API provider. Then API provider will process the request and create an output and send the output back to the requesting client in form of API responses. So this kind of communication is working under the REST platform or the REST architecture. So REST is called as representation state transfer, and it was created by a scientist called Roy Fielding. Okay, so REST uses HTTP protocol to communicate between two different servers, between this client server communication we are using HTTP protocols. Okay. So before REST, we are using another protocol SOAP. So that's very old protocol. Currently, all the APIs we are creating, right? All the APIs we are, if you want to create an API for your application, right? All the APIs are REST APIs. Okay. So, so this is the way. Okay. So one app send request, right, and the provider app will process the request and send the response as, okay, the data is a response back to the uh, requesting client app. Okay, so this is the scenario happens when we calling an API. Okay, so this is again one illustration. Okay, for example, we have, this is a API provider. The API provider means those who are providing us API service. If you, in case of Google Map, the API provider is Google Maps application, right? In case of Map API. Okay, here API provider is Cisco Spark application, Cisco Spark server. So one of my application, my app is our client side application. So that client side application wants to know the list of Spark rooms. Okay, so if you want to get the list of Spark rooms, so either request will reach the API provider, right? That is Cisco Spark server, and the Spark server will prepare the data and fetching the data uh, by from the database, right, and create a JSON file, and this JSON file is no so this JSON file is the response for the client's request, and the server or the Cisco or API provider responds to a specific request with the list of rooms in the form of JSON format. So all these communications, all the response are getting in a form of JSON. Okay, is that clear? Then I will tell you about what is JSON format and all. Up to this clear? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the different APIs we can use. If you want to get a list of items, we are using get API. So there are different kind of requests. Okay, one is get, get for getting some data from the server. Okay, getting the data from the API provider. For example, getting the list of items, getting the list of rooms, list of students, kind of that. Okay, so if you want to get only specific item, right, then we have to pass the ID of that item. Okay, so the URL will be like that, /items/ID. So you have to pass an ID. So the item that matches the ID on, we are not getting the reply to specific item only. Okay, the item that matches the specific ID, we are getting the specific reply. Okay, the post means the post method. We have two methods, basically four methods: get, post, put, and delete. The post method, the post APIs are used for creating new data. Okay, that is for inserting new data into a table. For that we have to use post method. For example, if you want to add a new student, okay, with the help of create student API, okay, for that we have to use post method. Okay, so post is for adding or inserting new data to the database for specific items table. Okay, here we are using the post. The URL is same thing, right, /items/items, but where the method is different. One is post method and other one is get method. Get method is we are getting the item details or a list of items from the server. Okay, post/items means we are creating a new item in the items table. Okay, so if you want to create a new item, no, if you are creating an e-commerce kind of application, right, we have to create many kind of items. So just relate like that. Okay, so get with an ID means get an item, specific item is we have to pass again, it's a get method, and we have to pass a specific ID. So the server will return the response specific to that ID. Okay, and if you want to update an item, right, then we can use put method. Put method can be used to update an item, and if you want to delete an item, you can use delete method for delete an item. Okay, so in practical case, in my case, if I am developing in APIs, right, I'm only use get and post. Okay, for updating again I'm using post method because I'm doing some changes, some modification over the database, right. So for updating also I am mostly using post method. I'm not using put. Or if you are going to delete also, I'm using post method. I'm not using put because in my case now, while developing, right, for deleting means not deleting the entry in the database. What I do is just change the status because uh, uh, if you're building an application, we have to keep track of all the data in your database. Even though we delete it, right, sometimes people do accident delete, right, then you have to roll back, you have to get the data, return the specific change back to live. In that case, you have to keep the data inside the database. Okay, so in my cases, majority operations are I'm doing with the help of post, right. If the data is getting, right, if fetching operations only I'm using get, but for updation or for deletion of all I'm using post. Okay, you can do like that, but you can also use put method and delete method also. Okay, that's up to you. There is no restriction. So post is more secure way, and we not get any idea what happens by using post. So same as post parameter in HTTP, post and get in HTTP, same kind of thing. Okay. So as I said, response given by the server is JSON response. So there are JSON is very lightweight data industry format, and it is completely language independent. That is, all programming languages can understand JSON file. Okay, so that's the beauty of APIs. If you create an APIs, okay, with the help of JSON format, right, any kind of application can interact with that APIs. For example, mobile application can interact, web application can interact, desktop application can interact, right. The nature of application, the scale of or scope of application can be anything, right. Any kind of application can able to understand this JSON file. That's the beauty of JSON file. Okay, so JSON file is just as its full form is JavaScript object notation, and its symbol is a notation begins with braces and ends with open brace, ends with close brace, and inside these braces we have the name and value pairs. The name is enclosed with the quotes, colon, the value. If the value is character, then we have to enclose the characters inside the quotes again. Okay, if the value is constant or integer constant, you can directly use the constant. Okay, so that's the simple syntax is JSON. Okay, this kind of syntax we are getting the response of the APIs. If you are creating any API, the response will be this JSON syntax. So this is a sample syntax for the JSON of employee data. Okay, for employee ID, this ID is integer, so we can use any number, right? The name is a string, or right, varchar we can use. So it will be the value must be enclosed inside this quotes, right? Higher date, right? Then false and true, that is boolean value. If this boolean value, we can just simply type false, true. If the value is 1 or 0, like to do that. So this is a sample example of JSON format. Okay, so any questions till now? So I hope all of you clear what is API, how this API sends request, and with what are the methods using APIs, and how we will get the response from APIs, JSON and all. Is that clear? Any questions?
No, sir.
Others? So it is very important, right? How you know need idea about API before building applications using API. So any questions related to that? Again, so if you have any questions, you might just ask.
Sir, how can all the data can be represented in this format?
Okay, just ask once again. Jidhi?
Sir, എല്ലാ ഡാറ്റയും ഇങ്ങനെ represent ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
We can represent any data in this manner. So multiple data, then we will enclose this in array element. Okay. So for example, multiple data, for if you are getting all student data, or if you are getting all employee data, I will show you. Okay, if you are getting all employee data, then the response will be like this. And this will be enclosed with an array. This will be the output if there are two. We have to close this up. Okay, if there are two elements. So this so employee ID, everything will be different. Just for example. So this will be the response if there are multiple data. Okay, so response is always JSON format. Response from the server, response from the API is always in this format. Okay.
Okay.
So I will show you how to create a sample API using Laravel. If you need, I will show in Node.js also. Okay, so I will show you. So we can create a Laravel project. So I just started my Laravel. Okay, so my Laravel is running. So this is the www folder. So inside we are going to create a new project. Okay, so under Laravel we have www folder. So I'm going to create a new Laravel project. Okay, so right click, bash here. So differently based. So next we have to create a application, right? So what is a command for create a application? So this is the command. So I just use this command creating a sample project. Okay. So this is the command for creating project. Composer space create hyphen project hyphen prefer distribution is we are preferring the base distribution. We need that base. If you are not using this one, right? What happens is when you create a project, it will create a project with a different distribution. So there are some sample distributions are available in Laravel. So they are choosing some different. So I want to make it in base form. So I'm using this hyphen prefer hyphen distribution dist. Then we can type then Laravel / Laravel. Then we can type the name of your project. Okay. So this is the way we create a sample project in Laravel. So we can add API demo app. Okay, so I'm just the name is API demo. So once we created this one, right? So before before doing this command, we have to install Composer, right? We have to install Laravel. So that is the requirement, prerequisite for Laravel. So once you have already done that one, right, you can directly use this Composer command to create a basic Laravel project. So we are creating a basic Laravel project, and the name of that project is API demo. So it will take time to load. So you can see that meantime you can see that a project folder is created like API demo. Okay, you can see a API demo project folder is created here. Okay, so all the files needed for a sample Laravel application is downloaded and installed here. Okay, so we will get the a sample application using Laravel framework. Okay, so all the dependencies are installed. Okay, now the application is created, right? So in order to check this application, you can do two things. One, you can run PHP artisan serve. PHP artisan serve. Okay. So you have to move to the specific folder. Currently we are in www folder, so you have to move to API demo folder. That is our project folder. So I just move to API demo folder. Then we can type PHP space artisan space. Once you type this one, right, a Laravel development server is started now. Okay, so this is a Laravel development server. You can see the website with the help of this link. Okay, localhost colon 8000. So this is a localhost application. Then this sample application. So this is the preferred distribution application. So that's a base application Laravel. So we are loaded with this base application. Okay, and we can check the application here. Okay, so this is the one way. If you want to run a Laravel development server, you can use PHP artisan serve. But I am not preferred you using this one because we already installed Laravel, right? So now I just stop this server by clicking Control C. It is the server is stopped now. Now we cannot get this data. Okay, because the server is stopped. So this is this Laravel development server. The issue is that we have to start the server and we have to keep this window open all time. Okay, in order to run this Laravel development server. So we already installed Laravel here. The beauty of Laravel is that it will, once you create a new project folder, right, just stop and restart this Laravel. So it will create or it will set the root file automatically and so that we can directly access the website with the help of URL, with the help of this domain name. So when you stop and restart this Laravel, stop this Laravel here, starting this, so it will check for the new folder in www location. If a new folder found, right, so it will create automatically create a domain name specific to that location and it will connect to Apache server. Okay, so now what happens that in URL or the environment files is updated and we can able to access our website directly like this. The name of your website, the folder name of your website .txt. So I just provided as app demo, right? App demo.txt. So app, it's API demo, right? API demo.txt. Okay. So with the help of this, the roles inside this Apache is created automatically by the Laravel. Okay, so we can access, we can run the Laravel code using Apache server. Okay, so here we can run the code like this with the help of this domain name. The domain name is created like this, the name of the folder .txt, not test, name of the folder .test. Okay, is it clear? Up to this clear, right? We just created Laravel project and we check whether the project is running or not. It is running properly. It's clear, right? Any question? Any question, guys? So this is base step. I hope all of you know the basics. Right?
No,
So
sir.
already shown you these things. So I'm just once again showing. Okay, fine. So now we have. So I just open this. So our name is API demo, right? So this is the file, or this is the folder directory as open using Sublime. You can use Visual Code. Okay, any editor you can use. So here what time is I change the env file. So under env file, your database name is, so this is for database connectivity. Okay, so database name is Laravel. So I just changed it for API demo itself. API demo. Localhost MySQL username is root and there's no password for me, so let's leave as it is. So then we can go for localhost / phpMyAdmin. Then I'm creating a database here. Name of database is API demo. Okay. So I'm just created a database. Now I'm just creating a table. Okay, so we can do different manners by creating a table. You can use a migration method in Laravel for creating a table. So or you can directly create table with my PHP manager. So here I'm directly creating table directly to this through my PHP my admin interface. So I just use the table name is what we can add. So employees. Okay. So for example, we have 5 fields. So the field structure is one is ID, okay, and that one is auto increment, and that is primary key, okay. Then the employee name is Waka, so I'm giving the length as 50. Then we can give mobile number, mobile. Mobile I'm also putting Waka with length of 10 here, okay. Then I'm just adding the creator or status by default. Status bit, no, I'm using status bit in most of my project to show whether if you want to delete a record, right, just change the status bit to -1. So status is int by default, and status is 0. So I'll just change the default value 0. Then we have created a value, that is timestamp, and the default is current timestamp, right? If you just I'm adding one more column, and in that column I am using updated. Again it is timestamp, current time, right? The default is current time, and the update means it will now once we update the code, right? Created is when we create a specific record, specific entry, time of the creator, date and time of the created. The date and time of the entry creation is stored on the created at, right? Update means when you update the same record, right? Sometimes we have to update name or update something, right? So this only the updated that is modified. Okay, so we will get when this entry is last updated with the help of this updated at. So I'm just keeping this updated at, and we have to keep this as default. Current time is default, and under the attributes have to use on update current timestamp. So on the update, this update that will change when you update the specific entry in this table. Okay, so this is structure. So I'm just creating employees table here, and ID name. Now we are adding some basic thing here. Okay. So we already added this created a table. So in order to access this table, we have to create a model. So under Laravel, we have to create a model here. So there you can see there is a user model already exists. Okay, so I just copy this one and just create a new file here, paste. So the name of the model must be table is employees, right? So the name of the model must be like employee. The starting letter must be capital and others like employee.php. So here we have to use instance model. Okay. Under the class, just create a model here. Okay, so this is one way to create a model. Other ways through a command you can create a model. Okay, so I will show the command. Yeah, we can use make colon model. Okay, so I will show you under this command line PHP displays the name of model employee. Okay, and doing this we can see that employee model is created by default. Okay, So you can use this command also to create. Otherwise, once a model is already there, just copy that model and just change the name. Okay, by default, this model maps to the table employees. We have a table employees here. Right? So the model must be, the name of the model is the like a class file. The model is a class file. So class means a definition, right? So it's a definition of a single object in that specific table. So the name of the model is must be singular. Okay, the name of table must be plural. Okay. Model here. Now we have to create a controller. We have to create a controller to do operation over the that is if you want to fetch data, right? Then you have to create a controller to fetch the data. Okay. So for that again we can use command to create controller. So, so this is the command we can use name controller and it will create the controller. So this PHP artisan make controller. Plain means there is no default method. You can avoid this. I'm using the controller name as employee controller. So PHP artisan space make column controller, then employee controller. So you can see a controller is created. You can see this controller under this controllers folder. There is HTTP. Okay, under app, under HTTP, under controllers, you can see employee controller. So under employee control, there is no methods defined. Just a blank control is created. Okay. Now we have to add some method inside this controller. So method means that method. We are going to, for example, if you want to fetch some data here, right? So create a method public void get employees. So under get employees, we are going to get all employees, right? So we have to use. So this is the model. You have to import model here. So what we are doing is we are finding all employees. Okay. Then we are return these employees here. Okay. So once this method is called, right? What happens, right? This method will fetch all employee from the table and return these all employees. Okay. Any question? Guys, up to this clear? Any question?
Sir,
So you can use any syntax of I think this is the syntax public. We have returning this some data, right? So we have void is not using. We have this is syntax, I think. Wait. So this is syntax public space function you have to use. Okay. This so it's clear, right? Up to this, any question? So we have to use this function here, not void, because we are this is syntax public function get employees when we are returning this data. So now we are going to create a route here in order to access this function from the verb. What we have to create? We have to create a route file. Okay. So I'm just creating a route here. So go under the routes, you can see that there are APIs and verbs are there. So I just disable all access route. Okay, just create our own routes. So here we will be writing API routes under API.php. Okay, so we will need to get the response through API in JSON format, right? So all the API routes or API links must be written under routes API.php. So under here, so I'm going to write this route. So route column. Then we need to get we are using get method. So what we are going to use slash employees, right? If you want to get the details of employees, I'm using slash employees, right? Then it will map to employee controller, right? So it will map to employee controller at the function name is get employees. Employee control at get employees. Okay, so I just added the route here. Just click semicolon. Okay, so the route is added here. Okay, so after adding a route, then go for this your API demo git bash location. Okay, then just do this command php artisan optimize. So once you add any route, if you are adding any kind of modification over the route files, that is in API.php or web.php, right? You have to run this optimize. Then only it will remove or refresh the caches. It will okay. Then that so I have to save. Once you run this optimize, you will get this thing. All the caches are cleared, right? So once you add any kind of route, you have to run this php space artisan space optimize. Okay. Now just check this URL. So our URL will be like that. What will be our URL? Our application name is this one, right? So our URL will be like this, employees. But it will not found through this. Why it is not found? Because we created an API. We are created just in API. If you want to get the output through this, then we have to save this same route. We have to apply our web also. And I just optimize. Okay, have to import this class also. This one. Pro use class file also. Now we check again, right? We will get the output. So we will get the output like this. We are not getting any output. Okay. So this is so we are getting this output because we are adding the link here, right? Verb under verb. The URL is under verb. Then only we will get the web application request. So if it is API, right, then we have to add this API. So in order to check API, so why we are not getting any output here? Why we are not getting any output? Because we are not added any data here, right? We have to add some data, then we will get output through this web interface. So in order to, so I'm just adding data here, I'm just adding some name, Anurag, mobile number. Some more data I'm going to add. VPN, some of it. Validating this one. So just Amal. So we are adding three data here, right? So these three data are available here. Okay. So here we will, so just refresh again. So we will get the data. Okay. So here also we are getting the data in JSON format. But this is not API. This is not the way we are checking the API. This is we are checking through the web link, through the web application link. Okay. So in order, if you want to check APIs, so if you want to make this as an API, then we have to remove this from this. This is through the web application, through the HTTP portal, through this manner. Okay. Then we have to use Postman. Okay. So once we created API, we are using Postman to check API. So just click Postman. So Postman in app, Postman just a desktop application. Okay. Using that application, we can able to check the response from the APIs. So I'm opening this Postman app. So I'm just creating a new request. From this Postman app, we have to, we can create an account. So once you create an account, right, then it's an update. So I'm not updating it now. So once you create an account, right, you can able to publish your APIs to the Postman. So we will get a link. From using that link, we will get, if you create an application, all the APIs can be seen from that link. Okay, we can check this API through this Postman, and we can save these APIs in here, and we can publish it. So there are a lot of advantages is there for using APIs. So basically, simple thing is that you have to use API. You have to test API with the help of Postman. So there are a lot of advantages there for using Postman, but I'm not going to those advantages. I'm just showing how to test an API using Postman. Okay. So one is a created API. So from the launchpad, you can see create a new request, or you can see a new here. Okay. So click new plus new here. Then we are using a get request, right? So click this one. So we can add the request name, anything you can add. Okay, so request name is test API. So we can add as getting employees. They are asking that whether it's part of any collection. Collection is if you're creating an application, right? Then we can create the all APIs corresponding to that application can be grouped to form a collection. So there are two applications. So I'll just create a collection here and adding a test collection, and I'm selecting this test collection. So I'm selecting this test collection and say click this one. So it will save that API inside the test collection. From this test, you can see the get request. Just click this getting API, then you can see a tab here, right? So under the tab, you can see get is open. Then you can type the URL. So our URL is this is the URL, right? So use this URL. Then click send button. So now we will get the output. So this is the JSON output. Okay, so this is the way we are testing APIs, because we can't test API like this because it's part of API.php, right? Okay, so under API.php, if you are not, you can remove this from here, verb. So I just remove from verb, and again just optimize. We are not getting any output through this, right? Because we are not getting output because this is through the web application. Okay, but we will get output through this because we have created API. We are checking the API. Okay. Okay. For checking the API, the URL must be like this: http://API demo.test/API needed. Okay. So this is the URL /API/employee. So all the routes will be part of this /API. So now we can check the response here. Okay, so it will not get so if you are through adding the verb, then it will get same response again, but you are not able to get access like this. If you are API, you have to use API also. Okay, but under the verb we can't use post method, and we can't check post method. Okay, the post methods, the post method means we have to pass some values, right? So here we have to add some values, and we can pass some values to the database and check that whether the data is stored inside the table or not, whether we are getting the response. So all these APIs are checking with the help of Postman only. Okay, we can only do with the help of Postman. So get can be checked with the help of verb. Okay, but this URL will not work. If you want to get, you can use this one, API. This will not work. But we can't able to do post operation. For post operation, we have to pass some data, right? Simulate, that is for passing data, we are using some kind of application, right? So we are not building any application. Then we can simulate whether if this data comes, whether it will save or not. We have to simulate. Okay. Up to this, clear? Any questions? So I just created an employee controller and just added a function get employees to get all the return all the employees. Okay, so you can change here if you want to. So I'm just creating new URL. If you want to get a specific ID, and just change employee by ID. So get employee by ID, then we have to pass a request parameter. For that, I am use this one, request. Okay, from the request we are getting an ID. Okay, so we have to map this ID with our primary key, or we can use this one, find of implies ID, and this is for specific employee, right? So change this. Now we have created another function get employee by ID. Here we have to get a form data. The data is we have to pass some ID. So when ID is received through the request, right, it will check whether this ID is present in the employee table. If any ID is present, right, it will fetch that specific employee and return that specific employee back to our screen, back as a response, as a JSON response, right, back. Okay, so I just added this function here. So under API, I have to noise slash, we have to use like this. Okay, so we are changing URL employees slash ID. You can use this one, employees slash ID, or you can use employees. You can change this also. Okay, so I'm using same under API employee slash ID. So this is for getting an employee or specific ID. Okay. So just go for this and optimize, add a new rows, then go for Postman. So changing this to employees slash ID, employee ID, right? Or you can use this okay. So what we get the specific employees API slash employee slash ID means we are getting this specific employee information. Clear? Any questions?
ID വെച്ചെടുക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ എംപ്ലോയി എന്നല്ലേ പേരെടുത്തുള്ളൂ.
അല്ലല്ല, ഞാനവിടെ മാറ്റിട്ടില്ല employees. So if it is employee, then we have to change this employee. So here we are. These are all APIs. So this is we have to use this one slash API slash employee slash. So now I show you one more thing, how to save a new employee. Okay. Function save here. Okay. So here we have to create a new record. Okay. So create a new object employee, and we are passing the values, right? Employee dollar employee. So first word is name, right? Name equal to, we have a request, under request we have name, request, and if employee has name and phone number, right? Phone is mobile, right? We are given as mobile, right? That means yeah, mobile. So mobile equal to a request now. We have to save the data. So we are not doing any validation. We are simply saving name and mobile to the database. So here save them. Once the employee is saved, right, we can able to return that employee's ID or something. So I am returning new employee. Return employee ID means once employee saved, we will get this ID as a response. Okay, or we can create a return response. I like this. I will show you one sample response. So this is the sample where we are sending a response. So here once it is saved, right, we can send response like this. New ID, new customer ID, new employee. a message. Message is employee created. This is a pre-coded response method created. No, from using this, we are using a standard response code 200. 200 means 200 OK. That is, we were getting OK response. If if there is any violation occur and this employee is not properly saved, then we can return that it is not saved or some issues. So we can change the response code. So based on this response code, also the client application can build. Okay, client application first can check the response code. Right, based on the response code, they can behave differently. This right, we will get different responses. So this is one standard response, and after saving, I'm sending this response. Okay, fine. So here I'm using a post method. Right. Sorry. Oh, sorry. This is so. Here I'm using a post method for saving the data. Post. We can change the URL if we want. Just use save employees / save. Here I'm using save method. Save. Okay. Or we can change this again URL add employee. We can change like add employee. Use any manner. Okay. So here I'm using. I'm calling this controller, and this is a post method. Okay, so you can see we will have a save function. Okay, let me set, and again optimizing the code. So for postman, here we are using say /save. Then we have to pass the value under body. So what are the values we are passing? Click this form data, under body click the form data. We are passing name, right? Name. Value is Jidin, and we have to pass name and mobile. Mobile. Just adding some. And click send. Just for testing. Adder. Yeah, we are not changing the get to post. I have to change this as post because this is a post method, right? So I have to change this as the post. Okay, post. We have to change this as post because it's a post method. Okay. Then click send. Now we get an error. Send response we have to encode. Okay, so I'm not using this. So I'm just using this return employee ID currently. So this for send methods I have to add some more. If you're using send response, I have to add some more. This is created and the backside, but the response is not. Okay, we can see that is created, but what happens that send response, if you want to integrate the send response, I have to add that API. I just created a API helper. I have to add that API helper. Under API helper, I'm using the send response function and all. Okay, so here I'm just using this return employee. Here, instead of JPN, I'm okay. Okay, let's click send. Now we get the ID, right? So ID means the new new data is added, and we will get the replace an ID of that specific new data. Response as we are return response as ID, right? So this is the ID of that new user created. Okay, that's the thing. So if you want to use the send response, then I have to copy this API helper. I just added one API helper in previous folder I show. Let's show you. There is an API helper. There is. Yeah, I added one API helper. Okay. So based on this API helper, I'm calling this function API helper function. This API helper is encoding the response as a JSON. This API helper convert the response as JSON, and using this API helper, we are using a response like this. Here we can respond message, status code, right? Everything is encoded here. So using this, you can use this API helpers to get the response, response after the post in the form of JSON. Or otherwise, we have to encode JSON format in each response to make it JSON. To make it make it easier, I created this function using this function. Okay. Is that clear? Up to this clear? So I hope all of you got an idea, right? How to create an APIs, how to check API, how to save data through APIs. Okay. So for that we have to use this Postman. Postman is the way. Using Postman, we are able to test our APIs. Up to this clear? Any questions? So I just this is a sample demo how to create a simple project in Laravel framework and how to create APIs. Okay, how to build APIs through Laravel. Any questions, guys? എല്ലാരും പോയോ?
Sir,
നമ്മളിവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു API ഇതിപ്പോ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മളെ ഡാറ്റാബേസ് ആയിട്ട് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനാണ്.
ഡാറ്റാബേസിലുള്ള ഡാറ്റ ഉണ്ടാവും.
അതെ, ഇതിപ്പോ API ഇല്ലാതെ നമുക്ക് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ലേ?
API എന്തിനാ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? API is used to create for different applications. So that is if you expose the API, right, any other application can use API to build or connect with your app. നിങ്ങൾ API ഇല്ലാതെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് യൂസിങ് വെബ്. If you are not using API, you can add routes under the web. You are directly accessing through the web application you created, you hosted. Okay. So what we are doing is if we want to create a mobile application, right? Then for that mobile application, the database is same, right? The database is the same database we created. So in order to access this database and in order to get the data from the database for this mobile application, that mobile application need APIs to interact with your web application or your backend application. Okay, mobile application is another one application and backend application another application. Okay, so in order to interact with these two things, we need API. Or if you create an application, if you create a backend in Laravel, if you want to create a front end in AngularJS, if you create a new application in AngularJS, then you can use that APIs to build your web application. Okay, so we can split. For same application there will be different parts: backend, front end, mobile app, that man. For in order to communicate all, right, we have to create APIs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just show how to create API using Laravel. We can easily create API using Node.js, Express framework. Same manner. The thing is, the concept is same, right? In different languages, the code is different. That's the only thing. Okay. Any questions till for this session. So we will using API tools, API Connect or API, some tools in IBM to create APIs. No, without coding this all, right? We can directly create APIs with the help of IBM tools. IBM tools like API Connect. There is one more tool. So for that, API Designer. There are some 2 or 3 tools are there in IBM for create and manage APIs easily, right? Uh, Without that easily means with less coding. We are not bother of coding. So we will discuss that in coming session. Today I just show you how to create API. So what is API? How to create API in Laravel framework. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So rest we will discuss tomorrow. So all of you please connect tomorrow at 10 a.m. again. Okay. Bye. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.